Hey, what's up you guys? It's Scott with Everyday Home Repairs here at the front door and getting ready to install this security strike plate. The big difference between this strike plate and what's installed on your door and most doors is it's one whole piece. So instead of having a strike plate with 2 screws at the top for your deadbolt and then a strike plate for your door latch with 2 screws, this is going to have one plate. It's about 12 inches long, and it's made for standard spacing of about 5.5 to 6 inches between your deadbolt and your door latch. This will increase the security substantially over your normal installed strike plates. Really easy to install, but with just a couple tips, it's going to make it so your door lines up, your latch and your deadbolt line up when you're done, and you're not having to go back through and redo work. So stick with me and I'll show you how to install this on your front or rear door. All right, so what you'll need for this project is obviously the security strike plate itself, and you can look down in the description for a link to exactly which one I'm using. Then you'll need some type of straight edge that's more than 12 inches long, a pencil and a Sharpie, a cordless drill with a Phillips head bit and a 1/8 inch drill bit, and then a hammer, sharp chisel, and a Phillips head screwdriver. Before getting started, let's go ahead and make sure that the security strike plate will fit between your door jamb and your door by taking the 1/8 of an inch drill bit and passing it between the door jamb. If that passes no problem, you're good to go. So take that straight edge and line it up with the deadbolt strike plate and latch strike plate so you can extend those lines top to bottom. With these lines extended, it's going to make lining everything up later on much easier. Now you'll just remove the old screws and strike plates so we can get started with installing the security strike plate. So take the strike plate and take the straight edge again, and what we want to do is line it up with the edge of the openings, and then we'll mark on the top and bottom with a Sharpie. This is key because this is what we're going to line up to the lines we made on the door jamb, which is going to ensure that your deadbolt and latch line up correctly and everything closes without issue. Okay, so now we want to do a test and make sure that the lines on the security strike plate and the lines on the door jamb can line up. If they can't, what most likely is happening is the metal tabs are interfering with the door jamb, so you might need to remove some of the material, some of the wood. So what you'll do is take note on the top, mine needs a little material removed, so I'm just going to mark that on the door jamb, and that's going to be my reference. Okay, so you can see the reference there at the top, which is a small pencil mark next to the long line that I marked at the start. You can see that little material, that width is what I'm going to need to remove. Now my chisel is really the same thickness. So I'm just going to use that as a reference, and that is the thickness that I need to remove from this door jamb, because then that's going to allow the security strike plate to be positioned in place, and then my deadbolt and also my door latch will line up. So I'm just doing some marks here for my reference of what material I'll need to remove. All right, so taking that chisel, I'm actually going to just do this by hand. If you have a nice sharp chisel and you're only removing what was about 1/8 of an inch, I'm just going to kind of tap it with my hand and work it back and forth and remove that wood in the deadbolt slot. If you have a little bit more to remove, that is also why the hammer was in the list of tools to have, because then that will help you remove the excess. You just remove that, clean it up, and now your spacing should be all set. So now taking the security strike plate, we'll put it in place. In the vertical direction, you have a lot of room to work with, so just kind of try to center up the best you can, but those holes are much larger than you'll need for your deadbolt and your latch. And then line up your lines top to bottom, and once you have the lines on the security strike plate and on the door jamb lined up, then you'll mark the holes. I'm really actually only going to hit pilot holes on the lower and middle hole, because that top hole has a little bit of interference with the old strike plate hole. So knock out these pilot holes with the 1/8 of an inch drill bit. Grab that security strike plate again, put it back in place, and then I'm just going to hand tighten these. I'll use the drill on the longer 3-inch screws on the back side. So I'll only install these 1-inch screws first because I want to make sure everything lines up and the door closes, deadbolt latches, and the door latch is secure. So let's test it out. So shut your door like normal. Make sure the door latches, the deadbolt's good to go. And if that's all good, you're home free. All right, so the security strike plate is in its position and everything lines up. So all you're gonna do is just drill the rest of your pilot holes, and then those 3-inch screws, you'll just sink those 6 screws into the security strike plate, and then we'll test it out to make sure it's all lined up. Same as last time, checking the deadbolt, make sure it latches, everything looks good, so it's all lined up. All right, another project comes to a close. Overall, this one was very easy, especially if you take your time and get everything lined up with that straight edge. So once you install it the first time, you're good to go, and you're not closing your door and your deadbolt or your latch are misaligned. If this one helped you out, don't forget to hit that like button and look down in the description. You'll see the complete list of tools used here, and then also the actual product that I installed. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel as we have new videos coming out on a weekly basis to help you out with your everyday home repairs. And we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.